Hello everyone, welcome to SJEC e-classes on YouTube channel. This is your geography subject which is related from 9th class. I am Aruna Singh who is teaching this subject. In this video, our chapter is weathering. Description, the meaning of weathering, factors responsible for weathering, types of weathering, and the main first topic, mechanical weathering. All these topics will be explained. Now let's start this chapter. Weathering. What is the meaning of the weathering? The processes which tend to bring the surface of the lithosphere to a common level are known as gradation. Here is the tectonic forces working in the interior of the earth tend to cause differences in surface elevation. These are called constructive forces as they give rise to major landforms on the surface of the earth. And generally the rises surfaces is called the leveling of surface continuous done by the natural agents. It is called gradation. The work of gradation is done by the processes of degradation and aggradation. Degradation, it means the high level cutting down with the natural agents. Aggradation, with the transportation and the fill up the materials in any deep places. When it's level the deep places, it is called aggradation. Upgrade. Now degradation. Degradation, it is also known as denudation. This process, it means denudation includes two processes. It is weathering and erosion. Now the weathering process which involves loosening, disintegration and decomposition. Listen it very carefully. Here is three words given: loosening, disintegration and decomposition of rocks or any hard materials on the surface at or near the earth's surface are called weathering. It is a static process. Remember it, there is no motion and no any movement process, so it is a static process. The process which involves disintegration in any rocks materials due to the some temperature or natural agents. Here is the factor responsible for weathering. Nature and amount. Weathering differ not only from place to place but also from time to time. It can be changed according to the places and according to time. Sometimes heat or cool. And the place, it means sometimes the desert parts, sometimes the mountains areas and sometimes the flat surfaces. So here is the some factors: the types of rocks, the climatic condition, the type of vegetation cover, the slope of land, sometimes very high level, sometimes very deep part and sometimes the steep or gentle slope. The exposure of the sun, wind and rain. Sometimes very less heat, sometimes it's receive very high heat, sometimes very fast blow of the winds, blowing winds, and sometimes a heavy rainfall or rainfall. So it depends the many factors. Due to these factors, the weathering happens in our nature. Now our types of weathering. Types of weathering: mechanical weathering and chemical weathering, and the third is biological weathering. With the picture I given some examples, but in this video only this topic, it means first topic, mechanical weathering, will be explained. Mechanical weathering again divided in three parts. It is block disintegration, granular disintegration and exfoliation. Now students, what is the meaning of the mechanical weathering? Mechanical weathering, generally it's responsible for the disintegration of rocks without changing their chemical composition. Remember it, without changing their chemical composition. It is caused by changes only in temperature. And This is generally occurs in dry areas. Now our first topics, block disintegration in block pieces when the rock pieces converted or just in the arid region which is generally dry part or receive very scanty rainfall. Here is the differences between the day and night temperature. It is very high during the daytime and the bare rocks are heated and their other layers expand. At night the rocks contract due to fall in temperature. Its amount of expansion and contraction of the rocks is not the same. It means sometimes daytime is its expansion and night time its contraction, and continuous its expansion and contraction not same but differ. And continuous, this process leads to the development of cracks on the surface of rocks. Over a period of time the rocks is split up into blocks. Just see in this picture, the vertical line is showing its expansion of the cracks slowly, and after some long times, after generally long times, this rocks pieces disintegrate into blocks. So this is called block disintegration. Our granular disintegration, here is the rocks are composed of a variety of minerals. It means which minerals are present in our rocks materials. These minerals which react to heat differently, and the rocks also expand and contract at different rates. Here is the expansion and contraction depend on the nature of the rocks minerals which are available in rocks materials. And this causes a series of joints and cracks in the outer rock layers, and the rocks are broken into pieces and fragments which have angular shape. So this is called granular disintegration. Our third point of the mechanical weathering, it's exfoliation. Exfoliation, here is the rock masses are generally poor conductors of heat. The outer layers expand more than the inner layers. It means the upper surface of the rocks layers, it is generally more expanded than the inner layers, layer by layer. In this process, work done. This can completely loosen the outer rock layers. In due course of time, the outer loose layers may peel off from the main rock mass in the form of thin shells. It means just the rocks materials come out with the layers and layers. Just see in this picture, you can see it the upper surface peeled out, and after some time the second layers peeled out. So this type of weathering is called exfoliation. So thanks to all. In next video, our second part of weathering, I shall explain. Okay, thanks again.